Carol and welcome to Over 50 So What? From my home to yours. Now I had a bit of a laugh this week. Someone had a 60th birthday and they said that the 60 is the new 40 but 9 o'clock is the new midnight. Now as we get older we do get a bit more concerned about falls, and falls becomes an increasing risk. Today we have an expert on falls prevention, Sally Castell, who's going to share with us some tips to keep us safe. Now, when it comes to falls and prevention, the last thing you'd be thinking of is taking up ice skating. Ice skating is great for balance. And today we're going to meet two people from the Silverblades. They took up ice skating later in life, and some of their members are ice skating into their 80s. So we're going to meet the Silverblades, and don't forget, after the break we've got our fitness routine. Hi everyone. Falling inside or outside the home becomes an increasing risk as we get older. And I know myself, I had a very nasty fall 6 years ago. I slipped over on a road and fortunately I didn't break my hip, but I did fracture my skull and smash my cheek in, which meant I needed a facial reconstruction. Our bones become more brittle as we get older, so it's really important to look at how we can minimize this risk. And today we have an expert on falls prevention, Sally Castell. Sally is an exercise specialist for older adults, a physiotherapist and a recreational therapist. She has spent years doing research and education on falls prevention, and her commitment to falls prevention resulted in her being awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award for the ANZ Falls Prevention Network. So if we want to know about falls prevention, let's meet the expert, Sally Castell from Movement Matters. Hi Sally, welcome to Over 50 So What? Great to have you on the show.
Pleasure to be invited, thank you very much.
Now we're talking about falls prevention today, and as we become older, this becomes more and more concerning. From my own experience, I've had 3 friends in their 60s. 2 fell on the beach in the sand and 1 in the snow. And all 3 of them ended up with fractures. As we're getting older, our bones are getting more brittle, so even falling on something as soft as sand or snow, you can still end up with a fracture.
True.
Sally, with your expertise in this, how big is the issue of falls in Australia?
Huge one. There's so much research going on with falls prevention. I mean, the stuff that's going out is basically they're saying that 1 in 3 people over the age of 60 is going to have a fall, and that can recur. Once they've started doing a few trips, it can happen more and more. So the problem with falls is that, yes, you can fall over and stand up again, but some people don't, and they can injure themselves, and then their lifestyle changes. So it is a major problem.
I've just mentioned people falling outside the home, but a lot of people fall inside the home. What's the percentage of falls happening within people's homes?
50%. It's quite a high percentage, and I don't think people realise that. And the major places where they fall is the bathroom, the bedroom and the kitchen, really. And if you think about it, these are areas where there can be quite a bit of clutter, or the surface can be quite slippy, or all those sort of things that is daily sort of things that you do around the house that you don't realise that there can be a trip hazard just because they're there in the way and your foot catches it. So it's a major problem.
Well, with more of us being stuck in isolation at home, that's going to be more time spent at home. That's also going to raise the number of falls happening in the home.
Totally agree. And I think from the point of view of falls in the home, we've said people over 60, but it's people later in life, I mean in their 70s or 80s, who haven't got the physical ability to do things, that if they fall over, they can't get up. And that's quite frightening. And that's what's a very scary thing, is that people don't want to fall over because they think if they fall at home, they're not going to be able to get up again. And some of them won't. And then they've got to call the ambulance, or they can be left on their own for a very long time on the floor. So it's a real problem.
So what are the top 3 reasons that people fall over at home?
Tripping, slipping, and skidding around, really. They're tripping, as I say, a lot of it is a lot of clutter. And if you're moving around and can't pick your feet up, or you're not moving well, anything that's in the way of the foot cause a problem. But also, as I say, if you look at the kitchen, or if you look at the bathroom, the floors are very slippery and can be very wet. So that's, again, if you can't control your body well, you can slip and you'll be on the floor before you know it.
And tripping on mats and things like that is...
Yeah, that is a big thing. But a lot of people with mats and all those sort of soft edges, they don't realise that that's a problem, and they don't sort of seal the edges up properly, so they can trip over them. So the important thing to think about here is that people pick up their rugs, seal the carpet down so that they don't trip over them.
From a physical point of view, which muscles can we work on to help prevent us having falls in the future?
It's a much more complex thing trying to improve your balance, but the fundamental movements are, if you think about all the muscles from the waist downwards, they are the ones that you really need to work, because that controls your body in space to a large degree. So if you're thinking about your muscle groups, you're thinking about your buttock muscles and your stomach muscles. Those are 2 very important ones. And then if you look at the muscles at the front of the thigh and the back of the thigh, they're called the quadriceps and the hamstrings. They need to be kept strong to stabilize your knee. And then if you go a little bit further down, the muscles in the calf and the muscles in the shin need to work, because they are the ones that are going to project you forward, make you walk properly, lift your feet up. So if you can work on strengthening those muscles, that's a good foundation to start off with.
All right, excellent. Well, we do lots of exercises like that on this show, for strengthening the lower body, so that should all help.
Good. The important thing is as you get older, you're more prone to it. I mean, you're saying the 50s and 60s, they're less likely to fall than the older ones. So we've just got to alert the older people that they need to exercise as much as ever as well.
To finish off with, what would be your 5 strategies for our viewers today to help them prevent falls in the future?
One of them is one important one is really be aware of yourself. And if you're aware of yourself, be alert of what you're doing all the time. That's a very important one. 2 is another big one that I say is pick up your feet and pick up your legs and keep moving. And be very, very aware of the environment that you're walking in, not just at home, outside as well. So if you're with a friend and you are not quite so good on your feet, for goodness sake, concentrate on where you're walking and what you're doing, rather than what you're saying to your friend, because that can distract you and you could be on the floor before you know it. So pick up your feet, stay alert, stay aware. Most important things I think you need to think about with balance, and keep exercising.
Sally, thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing your expertise with us. I'm sure if the viewers follow your advice, follow some of those tips and strategies, that'll help get the Australian statistics down in the future.
Pleasure.
Hi and welcome to 5 Minute Fitness. Just get up, join in, doesn't matter what you're wearing. Gonna take a little step to the side. And we go. Roll the shoulder. That's it, roll it. This is really great if you sit down a lot and you've got that sort of curve going on. Roll the shoulders back. Now, if you want to get a bit more relaxed, we can go shake. That's it. Shake it! Alright, now we're going to do 2 steps to the side. There we go. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Roll the shoulder. Step together, step. If you want to relax it a bit more, you can try a little shimmy. There. That's it, just enjoy moving. Alright, hold it there. Now put one leg forward, we're going to flip the hip, up, flip, 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 and pass it. Flip it. Come on guys and girls, get those hips going. And around we go. Alright, the other side. Flip, 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 faster. And around. Very good. Now we're going to do forward, 1, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Forward, 1, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3, forward, 1, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3, forward, 1, 2, 3, back. I'll show you sideways. Forward, 1, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3, forward, cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha, forward, cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha. Or once you've got this on automatic, you can just relax and do it. I put this dress on today because it's sort of in the flavour of the music. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha, forward, cha cha cha, back. Now we take the arm. Just wiggle it across. Wiggle. That's it. Burning calories, raising our metabolism, good for our health. Just relax. Doesn't matter, just watch out for the furniture and any animals that might come in. Now what we're going to do is do that all over again. Ready? Step and step. Step and step. Step. Circuit. That's it. Excellent. Okay, 2 steps. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Excellent. Check it. Alright, we're going to go forward 1, cha cha cha. And we go forward, cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha, forward, cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha, forward, cha cha cha, back, forward, cha cha cha, back. That's it. Feeling relaxed. Getting that energy up. Now the hip. Flip, 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 flip. And around we go. Watching out for the animals. Watch out for the dog or the cat. Other side. Flip, flip, flip. That's it, we're done. 5 minutes a day and you're on your way. Have you written your bucket list yet? And if you have, do you have ice skating on there? Today we've got a fascinating story. We're going to meet 3 members of the Silverblades. So these are all people who have taken up ice skating later in life, and one's a gentleman who took up ice skating at the age of 60 and he's still skating into his 70s. So let's meet the Silverblades. Hi Kelly and welcome to the show.
Carol, thanks for having me.
It's very exciting what you're doing with the Silverblades there. The group sounds like such a fun group. And I know that your background is back in the US. You were skating when you were a child up to about 14, and then you threw it all away. Then all of a sudden, 30 odd years later, you went, oh, I think I want to do it again. How did that happen?
Just by chance, really. I was looking in the local leader newspaper, and they had an ad advertising for new members for this adult skating group. I had young children. And then once they got to primary school, I found myself having a little bit more time. So I thought, no, you know what, I'm going to go down and give it a try.
Yeah, and it sounds like lots of fun. What's the general philosophy of the club?
Look, it is very relaxed. It is for adult skaters who, of all levels. It doesn't matter whether you've never touched the ice before or whether you're coming back after a long break. But we just offer a very secure, supportive, controlled environment where people can learn something new, have a bit of fun, socialize, and keep fit at the same time.
So you meet, is it once a week? What's the general format of how you operate?
So generally we have a Wednesday morning, and generally you get down there, you've got some free time just to sort of do your own thing and practice. We do give quite a lot of attention to the real beginners, and all the members sort of contribute to helping them and giving them some guidance. We then have an accredited coach come, and then we have a group lesson together. And it really is, you do what's in your comfort zone, you do what you want, you don't do what you're not comfortable with.
So if someone does have physical limitations, like as you get older and you've got older members that might have dodgy knees or backs or hips or something, how do you sort of cope with all that?
Well, it's very much just skating within your comfort zone. Obviously, anybody with severe limitations might want to try skating. And we do have people that have ongoing injuries and back injuries and things. And they just, they take it easy. And like I said, it's all about working within your comfort zone and not pushing yourself too much. But all of that's supported.
And how have you kept the group going through the different stages of lockdown?
It's been challenging. So at the beginning, we really didn't do much apart from chat with each other over Facebook and phone and things like that. And so I'd put the call out to say, hey, why don't we just meet at the local park and do some exercise together? And then, of course, that was shut down again. So then we just sort of said, well, why don't we just do it on Zoom? And so every Wednesday now at 10 o'clock, there's usually about 12 of us that meet on Zoom, and we blast the tunes and we do some exercises, busting out a move. We're doing the YMCA, just anything to keep us connected and keep us active and keep us focused on getting back on the ice.
Normally you work towards doing a show at the end of the year and you get all dressed up. Can you tell us about what happens with the shows?
And I have to say, not everybody does it. Not everybody is into the costumes and the makeup and the show, and that's perfectly fine. It's not a requirement. We do put on a Christmas show every year. The group goes out and does a group number, and that's choreographed, and we get costumes, and it is a whole lot of fun. And we include everybody, anybody who wants to be in it. Whether you can just about stand up on ice, it doesn't matter.
And would you know how old the oldest skater has been in your club?
Our eldest member, unfortunately, she's gone for a couple of years now, due to, she's passed on, but she was 81 and she was coming on the ice. And Shirley, God bless her soul, she was in the middle of chemotherapy, and she would come with her chemo bottle in her pocket and she would be on that ice. She was amazing.
So how long do you plan on skating till?
Until I'm told that I can't. I don't know if I'd listen even then, but look, as long as I possibly can, so long as it's safe to do so, I'll continue to do so. But I'm loving it so much more as an adult than I ever did as a child.
So if someone's sitting at home watching this at the moment, they've never skated before, they did 40 years ago or something, what advice would you give them?
Now is the time. It is not a difficult sport. Go down to your local rink. Most of them will have an adults group that you can go to just to be in a supportive, controlled environment. There'll be rental skates. You don't really need anything apart from warm clothing, some decent socks, and a pair of gloves. And you can rock on up and give it a go. Meet some new people, learn some new things. But it's a fantastic sport. It is an all year round, not weather dependent sport. In terms of our group, it's probably about the best bunch of adults you'd ever want to meet.
Well, I have to tell you, I think you've inspired me to give it a go.
See you down there when the rink opens up, Carol.
Yeah, that'd be okay. Well, stay tuned. Thanks so much for your time. Watch the space, that's right. So thanks so much for your time today, Kelly. That's been so inspirational for everybody out there. So don't be surprised when things open up, you get a whole lot more people rock up.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Carol. And thanks for all your work and keeping everybody active.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Kelly. Hi, John. Thanks for coming on the show.
No worries, Carol.
The show is called Over 50, So What? And you are a living example of age is just a number.
It is.
You're a member of the Silverblades and you'd never done skating in your life, and then you were 60 and you decided to start ice skating. Can you tell us a bit about how that happened?
I've been doing some cross-country skiing, and I struggle to hold my balance long enough when I ski on one leg or on the other. So someone mentioned to me that if I tried skating, it would improve my sense of balance. And that worked out. I used to go along on a weekend morning, and they had group classes, and I'd join the group class and slide around a bit.
And how did you find your first lesson? Were you a bit apprehensive about going into your first lesson?
Oh yeah, and stepping onto the ice, and it's slithery, and then they give you this exercise where you're supposed to sort of go like that. See if I can do it on the screen. Go in that movement with your feet on the ground like that, and as you draw your feet in, you're supposed to sort of somehow go forward. But nothing would happen. I would just be standing there. It used to feel a little bit threatening at first. And
you're 73 now.
Yeah.
How long do you think you'll keep skating for?
Yeah, that's a good question. I met a guy who was in his 80s still skating. I don't think there's any reason I should stop before that.
What would you recommend to someone who's starting off that, maybe 50, 60 or more and have never skated before, like yourself? What would you say to them?
I'll definitely give it a go. But you've just got to allow a bit of time. You can't expect to be able to skate like the other people for quite a while.
Safety was always of concern for you?
It was a concern, yep. So if someone who's over 50, I would recommend that they get all the safety gear. So I've brought along some safety gear here, so you can see. So here's my wrist guard, and here's my elbow guard. So I have a couple of those. And then I've got a knee guard. I don't know if it's quite coming up on your screen.
Yes, it's up there.
And then I put on my helmet. A helmet's definitely recommended.
What keeps you going? Why do you like it so much?
Well, with the Silverblades, it's a group that's been together some of them have been there for years, and it's a very friendly group. So that's part of it, is seeing friends, but also it's a movement like no other. Sort of gliding across the ice is just magic.
For all these people that are watching at the moment, what would you say to them? Someone who's just sitting at home thinking, I need to do something to keep fit.
But I'd recommend for anyone over 50 that they do some exercises that improve their sense of balance. So it could be riding a bike, or dancing, or skating, or skiing, all those kinds of activities. And it's so important. When I skate, when I walk out of the skating rink, I can feel myself walking more with more balance.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, thanks for joining us today. The three of you have been a total inspiration. So when things open up, I'm sure we'll see some more older ones out there hitting the ice.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks,
See
John.
ya.
Thanks, John.
See ya.
Are you inspired to take up ice skating? That's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, I love the idea of getting dressed up, putting on shows, having lots of fun. Now, if you want more information on ice skating or falls prevention, just jump on the website, jump on Facebook, and remember, all the show replays and fitness videos are on YouTube. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Be active, stay safe, I'm Carol, over 50. So what? Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and we'll send you the latest TV episodes and videos. Like our Facebook page and please send us your comments, your stories and any inspiring people that you know. Over 50, so what?